A big hello and a warm welcome to all of you amazing and beautiful people out there. Welcome to my channel, the Twinflame Union. In this channeling session, I would be reading out a soul contract revocation for divine feminines, and this would really help you if you have been sexually abused in the past. All of us immortal beings, actually we are all souls. The body is mortal, it can die, it can perish, but the soul never perishes, the soul always exists. Now, as a soul, you can revoke any agreement that you've made. But the more important thing is to find out any agreement that you made that limits you from living a free, whole and complete life. To exist as a soul, as a free soul. For personal readings, guidance on dream interpretation, counseling and therapies, please go through the description box first. And once you're very sure of what you want to do, then write to me at thesunamoon@gmail.com. Also, when it comes to twin flame intuitive readings, I prefer not knowing anything about your twin flame journey. And that's the best way to find out actual answers that can come from the tarot domain. But if we are doing therapies, then obviously we have to dig deep into your past, whatever you have been through, so that we can find the places or the areas where we can transmutate the traumatic energy or the anger energy or the hatred energy, all kinds of negative energy into love. So let's get started. Now this revocation is also helpful for those people who have been working on healing their sacral chakra. I'm just going to simply read out. You can also read the subtitles. However, I would be sharing this revocation, this contract in the comment section, in the description box or in the comment section, wherever it's possible for me to share it properly. Or else I will share a link of my blog site where you can click on the link and read the whole contract again and again as many times as you want. Or you can just simply put it on as an audio. And you can start from where, exact time from where it starts, and you can carry on from there. I am, and I call to all spiritual contracts that exist within my past, present, and future beings, selves, and existence in this dimension and time stream. And all the time streams above and below the earth-centric sine wave of coexistence. At this exact moment, in the ever-present co-creating moment, I summon all DNA lineage ancestors to create a unified, proper spiritual code of equality so I may find remedy and resolve with all contracts that have inserted fine print during the pre-birth and birth process. I call forth the proper spiritual court of equity to hear my decree of contract removal. I revoke all spiritual contracts with earth-based religions, cultures, belief systems, and industries that dominate and control the divine feminine power in our world and create an energetic imbalance that affects every man, woman, and child on the planet. I call forth all ancestors of all soul relations to hold space in the spiritual court of equity. I call to Earth Mother and all her light denizens within all inner and outer space to come forward and occupy this spiritual court of equity. O great mystery, who is the source of all power, I call to you, creator of all that is. Come with your sacred synchronicity so all beings may hold space with unity consciousness. I hereby revoke contracts of all religions and cultural belief systems that place the feminine in a dominated position of inequality. These include the projections of unequal pay, the inability for women to earn a living, own land or a business, or receive an education of her choosing. I do not consent to the feminist movement that was created and funded by the CIA to separate a woman from her divine feminine power, foster a hatred for men, neo-feminism, and create separation and division in the soul family unit. I hereby revoke all cultural belief systems that create the expectations of a woman's duty to hold an unrealistic burden alone and suffer in silence. I do not consent to all social policing systems that have been put in place to make a woman feel like she is too sensitive, too emotional, or out of control in the attempt at gaslighting a woman's soul to make her feel like she is unstable or insignificant. I hereby revoke all contracts of cultural belief systems where female children are murdered at birth, sexually mutilated as a supposed rite of passage, sold off into $1 billion child pornography industry, or trafficked as sex slaves. I do not consent to the porn industry that has been the breeding ground for sexual perversion, spiritual contracts, and the exploitation, degradation, victimization, and bastardization of the divine feminine power. I hereby revoke the following spiritual sexual perversion contracts that are targeted at separating a woman from her divine feminine power. All group sex and polyamorous programs that are all a perversion of divine sexuality aimed at making a woman feel that she is somehow not enough. All double standards in cultural belief systems where recreational sexual promiscuity, multiple wives, harems and mistresses are allowed and celebrated for a man, but cause social ruin for a woman. All programs that create projections that men put on women while masturbating, as well as perverted fantasies that are used as a barrier between the heart space of a man and a woman in a sacred sexual bond. I do not consent to these spiritual sexual perversion contracts. You have no power over me. I hereby declare that Earth Mother is in dominion with me, as well as my soul family and my ancestors. I declare that I am now clean from these projections of sexual perversion, and I return to the source of innocence as a divine feminine sovereign being. I hereby revoke all spiritual contracts with the medical industry that have damaged a woman's health and ability to reproduce according to the natural laws of Earth Mother. Birth control drugs and other chemicals in our food, water, and air that cause sterility or over-sexuality, as well as clothing that is damaging to a woman's health, such as bras, heels, corsets, bound feet, and unnatural menstrual inhibition practices. I revoke all birthing contracts created through C-sections, pregnancy drugs, prenatal x-rays, vaccinations, incubations, babies who are not put on the mother's heart after birth, removal of the placenta, and cutting of the umbilical cord, which can stay intact for up to 4 days to allow for the child's heart to bond with the mother and father. I revoke all contracts that force a woman to carry and birth a soul that is not of their co-creative divine choice with their selected or bonded sacred masculine. This includes rape victims, teenage pregnancies, and forced or arranged marriages. I return to Earth Mother, the natural incarnation grid. I now permanently delete the reincarnation grid from my soul's existence. I do not consent to all programs aimed at making a woman feel too fat, too thin, too old, too young, too black, too white, too ethnic, too rich, too poor, or any projection at all that makes a woman feel that she is somehow not good enough. I hereby declare that I am more than good enough. I am infinite consciousness. I am God, Goddess incarnate. I am a sovereign being, and I hereby reclaim my divine feminine power in the spiritual code of equity. I call forth all the ancestors to honor this reading of my free will and enter it into the earth's akashic record for all sentient kind to understand our freedom comes with the use of free will at all times. This declaration carries my energy signature as my binding stamp, is hereby signed with my most potent spiritual currency, and is set forth into the Ethernet as my free will choice to alter my reality as set forth above, beginning now and lasting into perpetuity. So it is. Thank you so much everyone for being here with me. One love and peace out.